Magab, everybody. Now I'm going to do my favorite albums of 1982. I've done 81, I've aired it here, but I haven't aired 80, 79, and 78. That was on my other channel, but it will be on this channel in the future. Maybe next month. I'm trying to do one a month. So I'm going to go through my albums. First, let me show you the CDs I have that I do not have on vinyl. I don't know how good you can make this out. If you can, it's Anvil, Metal on Metal. This is my favorite Anvil album. I love Anvil. I've always loved Anvil, even before that movie came out. And this one's my favorite, Metal on Metal. This is my least favorite of Led Zeppelin, Coda. I don't know if you can make that out. Don't have it. I've never owned this on vinyl. But hopefully one day I'll get that box set. Here, it's right side up now. Because all the extra stuff. I love those Zeppelin box sets. So Coda came out that year. It has Wearing and Tearing and a couple other songs. So put it on here. The First Virgin Steel. This is a very underrated band. I have it on CD. I used to have Guardians of the Flame on vinyl, and I don't know what happened to it. There's a couple albums, and I have a list right here that I can't find. But here's Guardian of the Flame. Here's some shout-outs of vinyls of albums that released in '81 that I either don't have or I can't find them. Like Saxon, Eagles Landed, the live album. Amazing live album. I highly recommend that. Tank, Fifth Hounds of Hades. It's a great new wave of British heavy metal album. I have it on CD and I can't find it. Girl School, another new wave of British heavy metal band. One of their finest albums, Scream and Blue Murder, is a great album. Here's one that I've never been a Bruce Springsteen fan, to tell you the truth. I've recently been getting into some of his stuff more. You know, I'm a little more open-minded now that I'm older, but even back then, I always liked Nebraska. I always liked that album. It's mellow, it's chill, and it's the one album that I would say back then. I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan, but I like Nebraska. And I'm not well versed on Bruce Springsteen, so I have Darkness on the Edge of Town now, and I have The River and Born to Run. I have those albums, and I still think Nebraska is the best out of all of those. But Adam Raised the Cane off Darkness on the Edge of Town is fucking awesome. Hugh's Thrall. I know I have that on vinyl, and I can't find it. Great album. They only made one. Glenn Hughes, Pat Thrall. Pat Thrall from Pat Travers Band. Awesome guitar player. Glenn Hughes, one of my favorite singers. And it's a kind of like an AOR album, but it's really, really good, and I wish I can find it. And last but not least, and I know I have this on vinyl, I can't find it, is the Misfits' Walk Among Us. It's definitely a fucking classic that I highly recommend. If you like punk. Well, if you like punk, you already know it. Horror punk, I would say. Alright, so that's it. Now we're going to dwell into the vinyls. Now, this is part one of my 1981 favorite albums, and I know I say it a lot, and I'm going to say it again. If you don't see an album that I'm supposed to have and you go, hey, where's that album? Well, you know where that album is? That's where it is. Alright, so here we go. Now this one is horrible, but I figure I'm going to show it to warn you guys, because, you know, I highly recommend their first two albums, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. This album is fucking bad. I was very disappointed in this. It's so keyboardy, AOR. Nothing like the first two albums. So, you know what? If you ever hear it and you hate it, don't blame me. I warned you. Now, there's a couple other kind of clunkers here, but this one I really like. This is Billy Joel, The Nylon Curtain. Doesn't this have Goodbye Saigon on here? Good Night Saigon. Such a great song. Allentown, I love. Pressure is awesome. I'd love to do a cover of Pressure and metalize it. I think it's a really good tune, and I dig this album. Not one of my favorite Billy Joel albums. My favorite would be like The Stranger and Glass Houses, but this one has its moments, so I kind of dig it. I'm a big fan of this band, but this to me is the first album they made that I was like, oh, And I know a lot of people love this album. A lot of people claim it's the most metal Cheap Trick album. I don't hear it. But it does have some good songs. 3 songs I really like off it. 2 of them are singles. She's Tight and If You Want My Love. I do love those songs. And the 3rd track I really like off this album is Looking Out for Number 1. The rest, sorry one-on-one fans. Here's one. Okay, this is one I don't like. But it's very loved. Actually, I know somebody that says it's the greatest album ever made. The album cover's awesome. I saw them open for Judas Priest on this tour. But I can't get into this album. Uriah Heep, Obamagog. But don't take my word for it. A lot of people love this album, so check it out. You might find something I can't seem to figure out. Alright, I like a couple tracks off this one. This is Pat Benatar, Get Nervous, especially the first track. What is it called again? Shadows of the Night. I really, really love that song. Little Too Late was another hit. There's like 3 or 4 tracks I really like off this one. Pat Travers, Get Nervous. Oh, here's a good one. Talus. Sink your teeth into that. It has Shy Boy that later was David Lee Roth did it, because Billy Sheehan joined David Lee Roth, and they did Shy Boy. I actually like the David Lee Roth version better. And my favorite song on here is High Speed on Ice. Love that song. Tal's a good band, man. They were up from, I think, Buffalo, New York, somewhere upstate. This is some good shit. I dig it. Crocus, One Vice at a Time. I saw Crocus, first time I saw Crocus was on this tour. I've seen Crocus 4 times. First time was this one. The opening track, Long Stick Goes Boom. Jesus Christ, if that ain't the most AC/DC worship song I've heard in my life, I don't know what is. But there's some good shit on here, like Down the Drain. I liked American Woman, the cover was good. Bad Boys Rock Dolls, Playing the Outlaw, probably my favorite on here. Great album, though my favorite Crocus album was the one they did next. Which when I do my favorite albums of '83, I'd be kind of surprised if it doesn't make, you know, part 2 where I compile my favorite albums, where there will be a part 2 to this, where it's going to be my top 20. And it was painstaking. We just lost him. Rick Ocasek, man. This one, what was it? Beautitude. I did a video when Rick Ocasek passed away, and I grabbed all my car stuff, and I couldn't find this to show you guys that I had it, but I do have it. I bought this because of that song, Something to Grab For. What a great song, and I love that video. What a beautiful blonde girl in that video. I love this album. Rick Ocasek. It has a lot of good songs, you know. Dig it. Beautitude. Alright, oh man. You guys remember Aldo Nova? Life is just a fantasy. This is good. This is a good album. I love the ballad too, Ball and Chain. You know, it's kind of got kind of like AOR feel, but there's some really standout tracks on here. I dig the first Aldo Nova album. Another solo artist, Billy Squier, Emotion and Motions. I love the song Everybody Wants You. She's a Runner. There's some good tracks on this one. More of a fan of Don't Say No, but not bad. Aerosmith, Rockin' a Hard Place. This album, in my opinion, side 2 rocks. I don't like side 1. I mean, side 1 rocks. I love every song on side 1. Side 2, didn't really like it much. But I did see them on this tour. They opened for Journey at the Miami Baseball Stadium. So I did see the short-lived lineup with Jimmy Crespo and Rick Dufay. And they were fucked up. They were really good. They played well. Steven Tyler kind of looked like, what's his name? The Chinese guy. Fu Manchu. He had that thin, long mustache. Tom Hamilton, in between songs, had a bottle of Jack on top of his amp, and he would swig it. That was a crazy show, man. They were great, though. They were really good. as fucked up as they were that night. But me, I gotta say, I do love side one, Jailbait, Bitches Brew, Lightning Strikes, and my favorite on here is the cover of Cry Me a River. Man, that gives me chills. It's such a great song. Rockin' a Hard Place. I think it's half good. Here's a weird one. Alice Cooper, Zipper Catches Skin. Again, another one of his blackout albums. I love the blackout period of Alice Cooper. And I haven't heard this one in a while. I'm the Future. I remember that one on here. I dug that one. There's a few good tracks on here. It's a string. It's my least favorite of the blackout period, but I still like it. Tag You're It was another one I liked. Strange, but good stuff. Alice Cooper. All right, this next one I'm going to show you is not good. It's not a good album, and I bought it that year. I saw the tour. He had Carmine at Peace on drums. Ted Nugent. I was very disappointed with this album. What's the one song I like on here? I think it's Good and Ready. I haven't heard this forever. There's a video for Bound and Gagged, which already gave you a little hint. Not a lot of people knew how Ted Nugent was back then. Bound and Gagged kind of gives you a hint what Ted Nugent will become. But yeah, I don't really recommend this album. Just holding up anything from fucking 1982. Mirage from Fleetwood Mac. I really love the song Gypsy on this album. It's my favorite track. One of my favorite Stevie Nicks tracks, period. It's an okay album. You know, I liked Tusk and Rumors much more, but it's not bad. It's okay. Gypsy rules. Here's another one that's not good, but it has two songs I really love. This is when REO Speedwagon really lost me. I'm a big REO Speedwagon fan of the 70s. High Fidelity, I know a lot of people don't like it. I know a lot of people do because it was so popular. I dug it. Still don't think it had that blue-collar 70s vibe that I loved about REO, but it had some good tracks. This one, I really liked that Keep the Fire Burning, and my favorite track, Stillness of the Night. Stillness of the Night was the closest to like good hard rock and 70s REO. The rest of this album, eh. Oh, the key is okay. I kind of like the key. Here's a decent album. This is Kansas with Vinyl Confessions. This is when they did start to lose me. This is when they had John Elefante on vocals. Play the Game Tonight was cool. Chasing Shadows, Crossfire. It has its moments, but they started to lose me on this album. I dig this one. Private Auditions from Heart. I love Cities Burning. Cities Burning. I like that track. Yeah, it's a decent album. You know, I love the Roger Fisher years, you know, but this one's pretty good. All right, let me put this on the bottom because that one was supposed to make my top 20. It was so close. I should put supposed to be top 20 at the end of this. It's Hard by The Who. Now this one, I mean, it does have the great Eminence Front, right? Eminence Front's on here, isn't it? Or maybe, yeah, it is on here. And there's like another track or two that I like off this. But if you saw my 1981 favorite albums, man, Face Dances I like so much it made my top 20. This one's not as good. I did see this tour. This was their first farewell tour. I don't think they've had a farewell tour since, but they've had many they've had many tours afterwards. And I just saw The Who last week, and it was awesome. But, you know, I dig Eminence Front alone is worth the price of admission. This one's really good. Pat Travers with Black Pearl. My favorite song on here is I'd Rather See You Dead. It's like a bluesy heavy tune. It rips, but man, there's some good stuff on here. I Love You. Some Misty Morning. I dig this album. This is a good album. But by this time, the original lineup's gone. But you know, Mars Cowley's still here. Rest in peace. He recently passed away. You got Don Harris and Sandy Giano and the great Pat Travers. But I dig this album. Black Pearl's good stuff. Oh man, let me put this down here. Oh man, let me put this down here. Shit, I gotta put this down here and this down here as well. Because all those almost made the top 20. This one, look, I do like this song, this album, Mechanics UFO. Very loved too by UFO freaks. But I think it starts off kind of weak. What is the first two songs? The Writer and Something Else to Cover. Those two songs that I don't really care. The rest of this album is great. Back in My Life, the mellow one, that's when it started. Doing It All for You and Dreamin', Let It Rain, We Belong to the Night. It's a great album. I just think it starts kind of slow. This one almost made the top 20. Put that down. Devil Soldier, Loudness. This is when they still sang in Japanese. Great, great album. Does this one have... No. But it is good. I dig it. You know, Lonely Player, Hard Workin', Angel Dust, title track, Rock the Nation. Good Japanese metal. I love Loudness. Oh, should I? Yeah. No. But it kind of deserves to be in the top 20. This is the first Night Ranger album. I think it's their best album. I mean, their second one I think is almost as good. But, man, you know, you all know Don't Tell Me You Love Me, Sing Away, Eddie's Coming Out Tonight, Play Rough, Penny, and the song Night Ranger. Probably Touch of Madness from the next album is my favorite Night Ranger song. But I love this album. This is a great debut album. After the second album, I just don't care. This definitely should have been in oh man, these two should have been in the top 20. Oh man, look at all these albums that should have been in the top 20 that I don't want to say just yet. Alright, the Phil Lynott solo album, or it's called the Phil Lynott album. This is kind of a mellow album. In some spots it's kind of dated because there's kind of like new wave on here with Yellow Pearl. And I know there's another new wave-ish type song. Some mellow songs, but man, it has a song that I consider one of the greatest songs ever by anybody. It's a song called Old Town. It's kind of mellow. Well, not really mellow. It's very pop. But I absolutely love that song, you know. This boy's cracking up. This boy's broke down. I love that song. I love that video. I read somewhere that they're going to do a documentary of the making of that video. I read that like over a year ago. What's up with that? Anybody got news on that? But you know what? I really do have to be in the mood to listen to this whole album. It's not bad at all, actually. I mean, obviously he doesn't want to sound like Thin Lizzy. But I just love his voice and his delivery, even if it ain't hard rocking. I miss Phil Lynott, and unfortunately I never got to see him live. 38 Special. What's the name of this one? Special Forces. I really like the song Caught Up in You, which was their hit. Chain Lightning's a good song. There's a few good tracks on this one. I'm not the biggest 38 Special fan, but they have a couple songs I really dig, and a couple are on here. This album was huge. Huge in 1982. Asia. This album's great. So many hits. Heat of the Moment, Only Time Will Tell. Soul Survivor's awesome. What else is on here? Wildest Dreams. This is a solid album. I really dug this album. It's a super group that worked. A lot of times super groups don't really work. These guys, it was work. And that singer was awesome. He passed away. What was his name? John Wetton. There's a song on a future album called Smile Has Left Your Eyes. Gorgeous song. I love that guy's voice. He was great. And you know, you had Steve Howe from Yes, Carl Palmer, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I think John Wetton was in King Crimson. Am I correct? Anyway, it's good stuff. I dig the first Asia album. All right. Okay. Now we're going to the albums that should be in the top 20. I think these are the best of the bunch I talked about so far. Start off with Raven. I just listened to this. Wiped Out. This album is so good. Deserves to be in my next episode. My favorite track is Live at the Inferno, but man, it has so many, everything on here. Faster than the Speed of Light, Bring the Hammer Down, Firepower, Battle Zone, Star Wars is awesome. It's just a great, great album. And it has some bonus tracks too, this version, with Crash Bang Wallop and Chainsaw. Great, great album. I love Raven. Raven's awesome. Athletic Rock. Great album. Should have been in the top 20. Well, I don't know if this should be in the top 20, but I'm going to give you a little spoiler. They are in my top 20, but not this one. It's an EP. It's called Rough Cut, and I had Dee Snider sign. He wrote Ralph Twisted Forever and the great A.J. Pero, who's no longer with us, the amazing drummer. I saw Dee Snider live at a club back in, I don't know, the early 2002, 3, 4. Oh, no. It was 2001 because I remember 9/11 just happened around that time. And when Dee Snider played the club, A.J. Pero was his drummer. And I got to meet them both, and I had him sign my... And Dee was like, oh, cool, you got Rough Cut. And you know what's funny about this album? It has Leader of the Pack, which was produced by Eddie Kramer. Leader of the Pack was a big hit for Twist Sister back in the club days. It was a song that was always requested, very loved, and we know that's what's killed their career when they did it for Come Out and Play. I never liked Leader of the Pack. I don't even like it on here, but it does have What You Don't Know and Shoot 'Em Down and Under the Blade, all primitive kind of demo versions. But hell yeah, Rough Cut. I love Man of War. I bought this when it was new back in the day. I saw a little tiny MTV news segment. Yes, MTV had little news segments in the early years, and they talked about Man of War, managed by Bill Aucoin. They signed their contract in blood. I know they're cheesy, the loincloth, a lot of people can't get past that. I think Eric Adams is one of the greatest metal singers ever. My favorite album is Kings of Metal, but this one is a very close second. I absolutely love the first Man of War. Dark Avenger is awesome, and Death Tone, Metal Days, Fast Talker, Shell Shock, Man of War, Battle Hymns. Great album. Wish it would have made the top 20. Another great one. I can live without this one being in the top 20, but it is an exceptionally great album. The first Robert Plant solo album. I love Burning Down on One Side. Such a great tune. And Slow Dancer rules. There's a lot of good tunes on here. Some of it's Zeppelin-y. Some of it, like Slow Dancer and Burning Down One Side. I can hear Zeppelin do that. And then other songs are just a different flavor. But Zeppelin had a lot of different flavors, so maybe all this shit could have been on future Zeppelin albums if the great Bonzo did not pass away. But this album is great. Pictures at 11, Robert Plant. Great album. Coney Hatch, the first Coney Hatch album, a band from Canada. Devil's Deck rules. It's my favorite track on here. And Monkey Bars and Hey Operator. Love Poison. The first Coney Hatch album. Love it. I said in my last episode, this is my favorite Rainbow album, other than the Dio years, which was Difficult to Cure. This one is like a very close, second to Difficult to Cure. Why am I having brain farts now? Death Valley Driver. Stone Cold is one of my favorite Ritchie Blackmore guitar solos. Bring on the Night is awesome. Tight Squeeze, Tearing Out My Heart. Rock Fever, Eyes of Fire. It's a great album. And I saw this tour. I was saying earlier, I saw them with Crocus, and damn, this should be in the top 20. Oh, another one that should be in the top 20. I absolutely love the Rods. The Rods rules, and this one's Wild Dogs. Carl Kennedy signed it. This is a great, great album. I love Too Hot to Stop, End of the Line, Waiting for Tomorrow, Violation, Wild Dogs, The Night Lives for Rock. Great hard rocking band. I believe they're from upstate New York. They're just amazing. I absolutely love them. And David Rock Feinstein on guitar. He's, believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he's Ronnie James Dio's cousin. He was an Elf. Great album, great band, The Rods. This definitely should belong in the top 20. But it didn't make it. Restless Breed, Water Damage. I had a water bed in the 80s and it ruined a lot of my album covers. But the album itself was still impeccable shape. Riot, Restless Breed. I believe it's the first album with Rhett Forrester. Hard Lovin' Man, what a great opening track. CIA, title track. When I was young, the cover, I think, was it The Animals? Can't remember. Lone Shark Rules. Showdown, Violent Crimes. This is a great hard rock / metal album. Early 80s metal. Great shit. Restless Breed. Rest in peace, Rhett Forrester and Mark Riel. Look what I'm wearing. Frank Marino, It's a Juggernaut. Fucking favorite track is the title track. But this album's great, man. Strange Dreams, Maybe It's Time. Free, great solo on that song. One of my favorite guitar players of all time. The album that came before that, Power Rock and Roll, it's better, but this is a great follow-up. Good shit. Juggernaut from Frank Marino, and Halloween covered that song. Did a great cover of Juggernaut. Man, all right, this is the last one before I go, before I end this, and you will get part 2 tomorrow. But man, if any one of these albums hurts not to put in the top 20, it would be this one. Michael Schenker, Assault Attack. I know the last one I did, and I got a lot of shit for it. The first MSG I did not put, and I have it, and I didn't put it. I forgot. It happens. I'm probably going to forget another one here. But you know, either way, you know, if you're going to ask, where's this album? It's up your ass. But this album, it hurt. It really did hurt to keep off the top 20. The Great Graham Bonnet, man. Desert, my favorite song on here is Desert Song. Love Samurai, Dancer, Assault Attack. Great fucking album. Amazing album. But that shows you how amazing 1982 was for me. Because I think right here I got a stack of 20 that I'm going to put up tomorrow that I think are the best albums of 19, even better than those, than a lot of these albums that I think deserve to be in the top 20. So I hope you guys tune in tomorrow for my top 20 of 1982. Thanks for watching, everybody. Schmack-a-magob. This video was brought to you by Miami Metal Merchant. For your metal needs and competitive prices, visit MiamiMetalMerchant.com. Tell them Dr. Fuck sent you.
Hey, I'm Dr. Fuck.
And I'm the Ayatollah of Alcohola.
And we are from the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
If you want to check out some crazy, uncensored, unbiased, totally nuts reviews of classic hard rock and heavy metal albums, check us out. You can get us on Podbean and iTunes. New episodes every Sunday.
That's right. And we also do each other's moms.
True. Free of charge.
Well, mine charges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine's free.
Hey, check out my podcast, The Vieira Vault. We're on Spreaker, we're on iTunes, and we're on YouTube. Check it out and subscribe. Hey, headbangers, you want your own radio show? Well, you got it. On Thursday nights here on that metal station, join me on the Dr. Fuck Show. Go in the chat room and I will make you my co-host. That's right. Everybody that joins me in the chat room, I discuss whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll mention your name, I'll say what you say, and we're going to go back and forth. And I'll even fucking play whatever request you want. Unless it sucks. Then I ain't playing it because my show rules, and only songs that rule is allowed right here on that metal station. The Dr. Fuck Show airs live Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Well, no, fuck that hope. I better see you there, motherfucker.